Hi, welcome to Home Farm. Today we're going to be reviewing the Maglite ML300L LED flashlight.
So the torches that we've had previously have been the big chunky plastic ones, which take an obscene battery size.
Batteries, yeah.
And they're just really chunky and quite frankly, given the size of them, they don't really chuck out an awful lot of light. They're a bit useless.
They're okay for kind of searching for something in the dark that's kind of close or just in and around the house, but they don't cost a huge amount of light, so that's for sure.
No. So we needed a decent torch because we are very, very rural. And so if there is a power outage, which we have had, we're literally pitch black. I mean, it is absolutely pitch black. We don't have any street lights around us. So we really needed a torch that was going to be really strong and reliable, and something that if something happens in the middle of the night and we have a power outage, we can grab something that really gives us a really quick, strong illumination. We can see, especially out into the fields and things.
So the guys from Maglite actually sent us the ML300L, which is that. And I've got to say, I mean, we've put 4 batteries into it. It takes the D-size batteries, so the big ones, it takes 4 of those. So that adds a little bit of weight to the actual torch. So it's got a bit of weight behind it.
What is so interesting about this torch as well is that you can see inside it's the mirrored inner, and then you can see there's actually a bulb in there, and it is such a tiny little LED, one tiny little LED bulb. And when I first saw it, I thought, okay, why is it so small that it's not going to do anything? But it's crazy strong. It is so strong. We put it down the lane. We have a country lane here, private lane. So it's pitch black, no lights, no street lights, no traffic, nothing, no other houses. And it shut the light. I mean, how many meters
Well,
was
when you
that?
look out the window, it's completely pitch black, and it's about, I would say, 35 meters to the bend. So we're showing that now, so you can actually see that it completely illuminates the whole area that we were looking at. And when you turn the torch off, it's complete black, you can't see anything.
And what I like, talk to us, and there's just so many settings with this, which is what I really like about it. It's really unassuming.
There's 3 settings. The manual actually says that there's 4 things you can do with the torch. So you've got, and I'm just going to read this so I actually get the terminology right. On the first click, which is basically when you just press it once, that's the maximum strength. So that's at full power.
Okay.
So turn it off. Now double click, there we go, that's low power. So it basically, I would say, probably halves the amount of light that it actually casts, and then you can turn it off. And then go 3 clicks, and that's low power. So that's really low. I'd probably maybe say 15 to 20% of the original strength.
Yeah.
But I actually have to say that that's quite a useful setting, because you're not always going to want to have this big burst of light.
Yeah.
So if you're working, let's say something's gone wrong inside the house and you have to climb under a cupboard, you don't want this thing to be on at full blast because it'll actually be blinding.
Yeah.
So turning on to the lowest strength will actually cast enough light for you to see what you're doing with your hands without being blinded.
Yeah, and also obviously on eco mode, presumably then you're saving on batteries. So for example,
very much so.
If I was to go out of the house at night time and I know I'm going to be in my private setting of my driveway and it's just gravel, I know that there's nothing out there really to trip me up. There's nothing dangerous out there. I know it's private and it's secure. So I would just have it on the eco setting. But then when I start to go into the fields, I will probably just amp up. And that's really nice to be able to just control how much light you actually need in a certain circumstance.
So the 3 modes that we've just discussed, the full power, low power, and eco, is basically set to the first configuration on the actual torch. You can play around with the other configurations, and you can actually get a strobe function and what's called a momentary function. That does involve you having to undo the little battery pack at the end and doing a couple of playing around with the actual setup of the torch. So we've just kept it to the default because that's what we're going to be using. Just having a normal torch.
So the maximum range on the box, it says it goes up to 511 meters. I think, I mean, we haven't tried it. We will try it out. I think I could believe that. I mean, if it was a field and there's no obstructions, and no other light. I think also you have to just remember ambient light, because the more ambient light you have, the more that light kind of cancels out your light from your torch. So I think that if it was dark and there was no obstructions, I can see it going across to those fields.
Oh, I think it will comfortably do a couple of 100 meters, but we're going to actually put it to the test. We'll run it over when we're actually speaking and tell you how far we think that the actual light has shone.
And the lumens, it's 1,000 lumens, which is not to be confused with wattages. 1,000 lumens for this, which is really, really high.
It's extremely bright.
Really high. So you really want to avoid shining this directly in somebody's face or into their eyes, because you will dazzle them and you will momentarily, they won't be able to see very much. So you just want to be careful with that, but it's really, really bright.
In terms of battery life, it says on the box that in its highest settings, you're going to get just under 6 hours out of the 4 batteries that are in there.
Yeah.
At low mode, 97 hours, and in eco, 434 hours.
Wow, that's
so
good.
It is a reasonable amount of time. I mean, if you're going to be using this, every now and again, 5.5 hours is an awful lot of time to be shining a torch.
Yeah.
But it is powerful. And we will be using it more in the medium inside the house, and if we have to, we'll probably use it at maximum strength outside.
I think also as a woman, if I was to be walking home from somewhere and I felt vulnerable, I think I would feel very confident and comfortable having this particular torch with me. I really like that it is quite long, and so there's not much chance. It's not like a small pocket one. You do have the
yeah, true.
You might just drop it, and then you're fumbling around trying to find in the dark wherever, drop this thing. When they're this big, you're not going to drop this and lose it. You're going to know where it is. It's really nice. It's got a good weight to it. It's aluminium, so it's got that metal kind of weight and feel to it. Feels really durable, and definitely, you would feel confident using this, and just the amount of light that it casts off as well would really make you feel safe, and the fact that you'd be able to really see a lot of your surroundings.
Definitely.
So I most definitely, if I was going to be going out and it was dark, if I was walking to a neighbor's house or something, I for sure will be reaching for this and taking this with me. We also looked on the box, and it doesn't say where it's made. It doesn't say made in China. It just says that it is an American company and it's a USA manufacturer. So I would take that this has been made in America. And it definitely feels really good quality. It feels like it's going to be a torch that's going to be in our house for decades.
Yeah.
So it definitely does. It feels like a buy once product. And I think that the price point, justifies that, because I know that you can get some real cheapo kind of plastic kind of torches. And the connection on them from there to your battery is dodgy. They're just no good, and they just fill up the landfills, and I'm just not interested in them. This really does not feel like it's going to be going to landfill anytime soon. I think that we're going to have this for many, many years, if not decades. I think it's going to do the job, and it just feels really durable and a really good product, doesn't it?
It's also got a focus feature on it, so you just rotate the top of the head of the actual torch, and it just basically allows you to disperse the light forwards or basically concentrate it. And it actually is a feature that works quite well.
It's nice and black. It looks really smart. It's got this section in the middle that everything else is a really shiny metal finish, but then the section in the metal is kind of they've kind of embossed it or scratched it out so that it's got a nice grip to it. So again, no kind of rubber silicone stuff attached to it. It is actually the metal all the way through. So there is really nothing that can peel off or come off or drop off. It just feels really a really good product.
And
really
it's robust and just really well made. So all in all, I'm really impressed with this. Would definitely have no hesitation in recommending it.
No, or buying it for someone.
Yeah.
I'd have no hesitation of buying it for someone. I mean, I think that I'd be really interested to see the rest of the range. I think do they do smaller ones?
They do loads of stuff. It's a big company. They have a vast array of different torches.
Great.
So definitely worth checking out if you're in the market for a new torch. So I hope that you found this video useful and interesting. If you did, as always, thumbs up, hit that subscribe button below, and we'll see you on our next video. Thanks for watching.
Bye.